So welcome everyone. This is going to be sort of a review of the Fun Pimps art graphic stream that they made. That is the second in this series. It's a very long stream. I think it's about 2.5 hours, and it's got a lot of really good information about specifically the graphics, how they built the modeling, everything. So obviously I'm cutting that down and sort of trying to focus on some specifics. You can see how things look and what they were thinking about at the time where they're making it. And it's got actually some gameplay information as well, not just for Alpha 19, but actually going forward of how they're doing Bandits and their view for base, light, heavy variants of Bandits for both factions. And that'll be sort of towards the end that Richard will actually cover, which was really nice to listen to. So hopefully you enjoy this stream review, a stream summary, or whatever you want to call it. And if you do, make sure you leave a like on the video and subscribe to my channel, and let me know what you really want to see and how you enjoy this one. Maybe I should make them slightly differently. So provide your feedback, but let's dive into it. So the video is going to cover, well, it's going to start off with some of the art and modeling of the different characters that the art team and the graphics team have been putting in. It's going to transition then into some more general graphics and then into the game where they're actually showing off a bunch of these new zombie high definition models in the game, so you can actually see how they move and look as they are in the game client itself. Going to be a little bit of a look at a new PI, new things like that, and then into the bandit part.
Okay, guys, how's everybody doing out there tonight? I'm Richard, as he said. I'm founder and designer from the Fun Pimps. We are doing a regular series leading up to Alpha 19's release with Streamer Weekend. Tonight, we're featuring the character artists that are knocking it out of the park, making HD characters for the game. We have in the house lead character artist Joey Struve. We have character artist Keanu Rendon. We have senior character artist Joel Byington and senior character artist Brett Briley here.
So if Lathan would show the first image, showing the last, I guess, the 3 generations of Bo, zombie Bo.
Yep. Okay, so everybody, we are going to transition to showing. Here, let me get this up.
It's quite a leap. I mean, the game went from Quake 2, low poly kind of characters, and these are pretty exciting where it's gone.
Okay, and then go ahead, Joey.
Yeah, so you see like the first generation from early alpha in 2014 there. That guy's like he shares textures with all the male zombies, so it's very low on texture memory, and I think it's like maybe 1,000 polygons. And then you go to, what we released on console, which is a little bit more. I think it might have been about 4,000 polygons, and he had his own texture, And then you see the 2020 version there. He's got a nice high res 4K textures, and I think it's about 15 to 20,000 polygons. And that's kind of where we're staying with the new zombies, somewhere around there.
Wow, they've really come a long way from 2014, which is probably it was a couple of years before I started playing the game. 2016 is probably the one that I saw most of the time I was playing, but the 2020 looks awesome. I'm really glad they gave this comparison, because this is really shows how it's improved.
Yeah, on the left side there, that's the high poly sculpt for Bo Zombie that's on console, and I guess what's on Alpha 17 or Alpha 18, and then what you see on the right there, there's a lot more detail put in there. You can see like the layering of skin, the damage is tearing away, and a lot more cool detail in that.
Yeah, amazing progress. I like to see sort of the difference there, because it's I'm not going to say it's night and day, but that's a huge difference, and I'm glad they're updating it.
Where I was trying to, not with any special shader, just using color and normal and roughness, trying to make them feel fleshy.
So yeah, with better textures, better lighting, these are looking amazing.
So if we go to the next image, it'll show kind of how he looks, like the final version of him.
Oh, this is beautiful. He looks, wow, beautiful might be the wrong word, but the work is beautiful. Again, as I mentioned before, I wish that they had given maybe a couple of different variants of this one, different t-shirt color kind of thing, maybe just slightly different variances.
And that's kind of the motorcycle without the armor. Then you go, the next image has the armor. And so this is kind of a design in a modular way to where, you know, you can find different parts in the world and put this motorcycle together. And so that's the just the concept, just the drawing of it. And you go next image, it'll show the high poly model of that. Just kind of showing the process, you know, go from concept to high poly model. And then the next one is the in unit version with the texture on there. So that's the one that's in game. So it's kind of showing the process.
It looks sweet. I will say that Alpha 19, it looks a lot from a modeling program to in game. They look the same now. They look a lot closer anyway.
Now it's interesting that they're showing the motorcycle in the new model. I like to see it. I was expecting them to do this for Alpha 20 when they're doing the vehicle mods, but it's nice to see the model in there. And another thing that struck me as I was looking at this one, and it might not be intended, and there's definitely, I don't think it's Alpha 19, but as you see, the way he's built it is sort of the motorcycle, and then with the armor, you can imagine that being part of the vehicle mod upgrade for Alpha 20, where you the basic motorcycle is just a motorcycle, and then you add on mods such as the front armor, etc., and that actually improves how the handling is, etc.
There's just some shots of the Jeep. And then what's next? Oh, we're improving the hands, and we have an artist that went through and did a lot of really good looking weapons and is making the hands not look so good, so we went back and did a high definition hands. Yeah, there's some of the texture improvements in the environments.
A lot of stuff's been touched, and 19 is really impressive as a result. Well, we have a vision for the gold version of the game, a quality bar for performance, visuals, gameplay, intuitiveness, a complete game that people will play for hundreds of hours, if not thousands of hours.
Yeah, so it's glad to see them actually updating all the textures on even the blocks and everything, because it is something, and you know, he was highlighting that as well, that things have, I guess, lagged behind a little bit, and Rick has also said, you know, they have a vision for how they want it to look and sort of the quality of it, and they've been slowly updating. I think that Alpha 19 seems to have been a great push here forward.
Hi,
Hey,
Keanu.
how's it going, guys? So my name's Keanu. I joined the team pretty recently. I'll say about 3 months. So I was able to kind of get one zombie in for this build. Kind of a farmhand rancher type of character, a little more kind of grungier, and kind of makes some of the gore a little more subtle. Like this character had kind of big gash in his head, so we kind of took that away and added some rips, and almost like he got infected in the arm, like he got bit. So it's kind of the process on that. And if you go to the next one, this is kind of where we ended up. So if you see here, you kind of, you know, adding kind of the face where he kind of tore up, and kind of overall the look we're going for. My original thought process from the first one was, okay, he's a farmer, he's weathered, he's been kind of out there, he's been, you know, really beat up, but I think he got a little too old, real scrawny. I think we're looking for something a little more lean but strong. And so in the process, I kind of bulked him up, got him a little too thick, but in the middle, so it was really kind of playing with the shapes and kind of bringing in kind of more broader shoulders, leaner, more athletic rather than kind of, you know, strong, bulky, or too thin. And same with the head, kind of playing with different ideas of where we want the gore, where to beat them up. The hair even went through a different process, from sculpting different ways to we finally get a result we're looking for.
He looks great in game.
Thanks. Yeah. But yeah, one of our coworkers, Justin, captured. He got a pretty cool lighting with the torch, and I think he ran into it and he was like, well, it was pretty cool to see him in game run around.
You see, interesting how the different versions are and how they're sort of trying to give it character and trying to make it something that is appropriate. And I never really thought about that, about the whole process behind. But you can see, from the modeling, is like so much detail in there. And I think this going to this these 4K high definition models definitely allows for a lot more details on the modeling and their characters themselves. And it's going to be really nice to see later on sort of how this looks in game.
You're
Hey,
up.
everybody.
There he is. Not
All
to be confused with the Mad Mole. This is different Joel.
Hey everybody, I'm Joel. I'm a pretty recent addition here at Fun Pimps. Started about the time Keanu did, maybe a little bit later. All right, so this is our big mama concept by Shin. Pretty wild, scary lady. So first things first, just with this model, starting off the concept, I have a bit of a base model that I start with, the base human form that I just transform to fit the rig that we have, and then change its larger forms to match the concept as closely as possible. The final texture pass for Big Mama.
Amazing.
Yeah, she's a lot of fun to work on.
So Big Mama is in the process of being rigged currently. She is going to make it in Alpha 19, though. She's not spawnable yet in game, but she will be probably by the end of this week, if not sooner.
Nice. I mean, it's really good to see these new HD models, and the stream had a lot of talking, and obviously I'm cutting out a lot of the discussion about how they built the character from the sort of the ground up, from the concept, drawing towards the character and the modeling and putting on the textures and changing things around and everything. And so if you're interested in that, go look at the stream, because they have a lot of discussion about it. Just it makes it a very, very long video if I keep 50 minutes of that per character. But it's really nice to see. Big Mama is obviously one of the crowd favorites. I'm not going to say she's a beaut, but she's really nice to look at least from a zombie perspective. You might not want to have her up and close, because she'll probably finish you up in a couple of bites. The next one that is coming up, however, you might really call a beaut. I wouldn't recommend getting her on a date, because, unfortunately, you'll be the main meal.
There's another concept coming up. If you want to go to the next one, is the stripper concept? Is that what she is officially, or what do we call it?
Well, we've decided for the HD stripper to make it more of a unit, because you couldn't put strippers in very many environments. You could put them in bars and, well, pretty much just bars. We decided to make a more universal model that was more of like a nightclub girl that was in a evening wear that could function in a bar or a restaurant, or you could spawn in Gen Pop without it looking kind of weird, like, why is there all these strippers in the world? There's really not that many of them in the real world. And so this became more of a universal concept. And so this is what we went with.
And I think that really does make sense. I mean, stripper zombies is maybe a little bit. I'm not going to say like the nurse, but the stripper zombie definitely is one of the ones that are nice to see when you see them around, but they don't really fit in a lot of places. So making a bit more generic one might lose a little bit of the character and the distinctiveness, but it makes it you can have more variety in more places, which of course is really important.
Mr. Brett Briley's up right now. He came on a few months back.
Yeah.
We've decided to expand our team. Fun Pimps have grown quite a bit. We want to go gold in style, and we want to work on some other projects. So the team is bigger, and we're moving.
I actually didn't have a concept. I kind of took the previous Arlene zombie and updated her into the HD. She kind of had like a cool torn esophagus, and so I wanted to kind of emphasize that a little bit and kind of add some of the polys to her. went through a couple different hairstyles, trying to get the feel of the style of the game, and kind of made her kind of like a hot mom kind of stuff.
Hey, she looks really good with the coloring, and there's a big difference from going from the black and white to the textures on it. She looks fairly ferocious here.
The main animator worked with id Software. He always liked pushing the limits, so I was trying to give him, because if you get jiggly bones for the eyeballs, then breast can come in and boobs, and you have secondary motion, which just adds a lot of life to the character. So that's what I was sort of gently nudging, hoping.
So Marlene, I mean, she looks definitely her face and her eye. I think what they very quickly trying to cover there, that there was a lengthier discussion about they're trying to add physics so you can sort of have a dangling eye and everything on her face, or coming from the eyeball and everything. And they're not going to be a quick thing to implement, obviously, but maybe eventually it'll be in there, and look, you'll see this eyeball sort of swinging from the eye. That'll be really gruesome.
Joey had done it on the Bandits, like separating the hair. I was trying to hair is difficult, and so I was trying to blend it with the normals to the hair, try to do some tricks, and it just didn't work.
And you see here's Darlene updated as well. She looks all right. I think the coloring maybe of the clothes maybe it's a bit different. You see it's quite shiny as opposed to the other ones, and maybe the skin looks a bit clammy. But yeah, obviously it's great to see them updated.
And you see right there in the high poly, the pose went from like the T pose, and now he's in his A pose. Rick kind of mentioned about the long forearms and the big hands. That was kind of a difficulty for proportions to make him look right, because he just kind of felt off. So I made him a little bit more skinny to kind of help emphasize that. Because the bigger you make the arms, then the hands the head looks smaller. Then if the head looks small, then he looks off. And just pretty much just tried to make on his face, trying to add. I started going for like, since the women kind of had more of a warm, since he was male, I started going with a little bit more cool skin, aging him up a little bit, and that kind of helps pop out some of the boils. Also was bringing kind of like his skull underneath the skin to kind of show some value hits. And then of course adding a lot of the blood, like he's just had breakfast, lunch, and dinner all in one set.
Oh, gruesome. I like that, actually. He looks realistic is maybe not the correct word, but he looks really good. I mean, it's like you're looking at these ones, they look so much better than previously. You can see the detailing, especially I think on the face. They've spent a lot of effort, the eyes and the mouth and the teeth, and a little bit of course the hair. And I think that's because that's where when you look at them, your eyes are drawn naturally to the face anyway. So having a better better graphics there makes a big difference, because it really pops out.
Oh, one of the users says Kurt Cobrains.
Kurt Cobrains, that's awesome. The next one is the Ishan did the crawler zombie. Kind of paid attention with his intestines and stuff. I'm still using. There was no rig that was made for it, so I just used the male rig, but just treated like he has no waist. So I'm not paying attention to the legs. So when this gets to animation, they might have to do some specific animations, or just cut off the and the next image if you want, Lathan.
We before the crawlers were just basically a zombie Steve with truncated legs or whatever that was a model swap share. We decided to break that out and become its own thing. The crawler is a special zombie that can sneak up on you or give you a chance to sprain or break your leg when they hit you in the leg. So we thought it was worth having its own zombie. So that's why you're seeing this.
I'm glad they made its own, I guess, unique zombie, and not just sort of reusing what's there. And it would be cool if they, obviously it has the individual ability to break legs a little bit more, but maybe they could give it something else as well. I don't know, maybe, a poison kind of thing. I don't know, something that is just a little bit different. I mean, you obviously have the vomiter, the cop, and demolisher and stuff like that, the spider zombie. Maybe this one should have more of a poison, a bit higher infection rate or something. It would be cool to have a different unique ability.
So there she is, everybody.
That's the first one that Brett had showed you.
Arlene looks really good. I like it. I mean, it's you can see the difference from previous versions, and it's interesting to see how they built it up and then see it in the game.
Go ahead and put Bo in. That's fine. I have a list here, and I was just trying to make sure I got them all.
Okay, so there's Bo, everybody.
Wow, he looks really good. I mean, in the game, you can see the high definition on the pants and the shirt and the head, obviously. Wow, really good. I like that one. He looks really good. He looks better than Arlene.
Y'all remember Bo?
Okay, so there is Darlene, everybody.
He looks all right. A little bit too shiny, maybe, but maybe that's what they're going for. You can see. I'm not as keen on her as I guess the other ones. It just feels like the skin looks. Maybe she's not as. Oh no, Bo died.
That is Marlene, everybody. Oh look, her eyeballs hanging out like we said.
Here's Marlene. This is another one that Brad had shown.
Oh, Marlene with the eyeball. I'm glad it's not hanging dangly because that would be so gross. But still, that's good. That's good in a gross way.
About Mr. Joe now, Zombie Joe.
Oh, there he is. Look at him.
Oh, what a handsome fellow. It looks good. I like obviously the hair has been updated on all the models. It's not flowing as such. It is really static, unfortunately. Of course, that's a performance issue as well, but it looks good.
Beetlejuice.
Okay. So what's next?
Next up is Mo. Mo better Mo. Mo better Mo.
Mo. Oh, nice. He looks like look at the blood. It looks so shiny, like he's just eaten it very recently. Oh, he doesn't have sun. He's missing an eye. Oh, that would explain it. I thought he had like glasses on before.
Mr. Yo.
Yo. Mr. Yo is in the house.
Ooh. Yeah, see, that one looks nice, everybody.
Oh, Yo is actually really good when she comes out here. Actually looks really fitting. I was a little bit sort of dubious when I saw the modeling, but this looks really good. That's awesome.
I was like, why am I popping up?
Oh, park bench.
Yeah, there's that.
All right.
It's park bench.
Very, very cool. Next up is Zombie Steve.
Zombie Steve. Yeah, what's up, Steve? How you doing, man?
What's up, Steve? With the boils, it's not too bad. I think the clothing looks slightly. I don't know. I like the face though. I like the boils. I like how they've done that one. It looks like a really ugly face.
Big Mama's being rigged. She's not in yet.
Yeah.
So this is HD Trader Joel. Put your torch out. Let's see what it looks like. Or show off the camera FOV when you talk to him. Lathan did this little feature here.
Yep.
You can see he's HD now, and he looks worlds better.
Oh, it looks really good actually. The face looks a little bit static somehow. It would be nice if you sort of moved his mouth and everything when he spoke, but I guess that's animation that they don't have. It looks a little bit static otherwise.
Are you, friend? God bless you.
That's pretty good.
Yep. Oh, that's right. Y'all wanted to see a swimming zombie, right?
Yeah. Spawn a couple.
What's the key? Is it just press it again to
F6? Yeah.
No. I mean to turn back on the AI.
It's just this. It's the star key on the numpad.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was.
Get a couple of them going.
Wait, she doesn't. Oh, there she goes. There she goes, everybody.
Come on.
Let's just God mode it. Nice.
Oh, is she doing it?
Yeah, she's doing it. Yeah, I thought she was swimming more than that.
I thought her body was a little bit more horizontal when they were spawn a couple others.
Okay.
Maybe that was a bug with her.
Sean's like, I can't believe you're showing this whenever it's not ready yet.
Uh-oh.
Right, come on.
Spoiler alert.
Hey, come here, buddy. Come on. We're counting on you to swim a little better.
So the swimming looks like, they put it in, but they haven't quite gotten it right. Of course, you can see the arms are, but the legs are a little bit, but it's so so vertical, standing up, swimming.
Oh, they swim up when they get to you? Okay, so here, let's try that.
Oh, they do swim up to you, the player as well. So this, yeah, they actually.
Yeah, no, he did come up here. He came up here to party.
Wow, that's really good. They actually swim up to you when they're underneath you, so they try to reach towards where you are, and they will swim up to you, so no longer being safe out at water.
Faster than you now. See, it feels like they're faster than you a little bit.
Hold on. Let's, oh, yeah. No, they are faster than me. They're going to hit me.
Yeah. And let's see if this is a good one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that does look nice.
All right, go back around to the front and play this one if you want. I don't think it's going to spoil. The guys can't show you that much. They're going to be showing you some commercial sites and stuff, stores and new commercial stores, etc. And but this one might be getting a good one to play.
Yeah, I'm going to turn off the on-screen icon. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, so new PIs love it, and this looks good as well. They did show a lot more of the stream as well of this one. I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, it looks really good. Nice to see new PIs. I love to explore new PIs. It's just one of the favorite things in game, I have to admit. It's just like you go in, you explore it, see what's there.
Okay.
The traders look pretty good, but you know, we have a little more work to bring up 3 more traders to the new quality.
Yeah, the new traders look really good. I mean, it's obviously higher definition, looks a bit more real, which is it's nice because NPCs is important.
So the next concept, or is that? Yeah, the next concept is this is the main protagonist in the game. You're going to see in a couple of alphas yet. This is Duke Cassador. He is the bad guy in the world that's taking over through muscle, and
nice. Now you know what the Duke is going to look like, even though he won't actually be in the game as such. No NPC yet, but they're building it up.
But the plan for progression is after you do enough quests for all the traders, they you get the attention of the Duke and Noah Wright, the main good guy in the game and the main bad guy in the game. You know, both of them want to hire you, and you'll end up getting to do quests for them of different types.
The 2 factions, yeah.
Yep. Yes. So this is a really cool concept. The idea is the game's set in central Arizona. He's a American Indian guy who owns a casino. He's a baddie that has lots of security, and he wants to restore order to the world through the use of force. And Noah Wright wants to restore order through humanitarian efforts, but they disagree on how to do that, and they've been fighting. And you are the equalizer, and that's so there is a Duke. It's not just a rumor, and this is one of his baddie elite warriors.
And there you heard some of the story of 7 Days to Die that has been alluded to in the past. But yeah, you see the difference in view from the different main leaders and how they want to accomplish peace and, well, I guess, prosperity.
Yeah, some of those are pretty old, and that's a model of her in progress. So if you saw her with fully armored, she would be tougher. If you saw her with just a melee weapon or a light melee weapon, she would be weaker. If you saw her with fully armored with a ranged weapon, then she would be obviously more higher game stage to deal with. And that's kind of the expansive systemic kind of design that we're wanting to do with Bandits. This is concept for the heavy. I love that one. So imagine seeing that guy coming at you with a minigun. It won't take very many of them to make it difficult, that's for sure.
Yeah, there are a bunch of models and everything. I think they're definitely working on it. You can see how they're doing that, and it doesn't seem to be ready quite for getting into the game. But it's nice to see the concept of how they're sort of improving them and putting them on. And
the Dukes guys. There's a male, female, and a heavy, and they have hit point pools that are like small, medium, and large, and their armor attachments and their weaponry equipped will add up to their difficulty. And we have some special elites as well that are in the works.
Wow, and all this is just awesome to see. And so what they seem to be going for is variants of the same zombie one, talking about Bandit. And I wish they would do this with zombies as well, but I'm glad they're doing it with Bandit. So they have the base, and then we have one which has a different armor on it, light and heavy, different weapons and everything. So you have a lower game stage, just the basic one, and then it sort of progresses upwards into heavier and more difficult, badder weapons. You mentioned Gatling. Oh, that's going to be really tough, but nice to see them come for you.
Will POIs ever have some room randomization? I don't think we're going to go there, but we have talked about some things to make the larger POIs more interesting. In that, like, there's a random zombie that has a key card on him, and that's what opens up the indestructible final loot in the level, and just some things like, or auto turrets or one-way doors at the top. Some things to kind of change that up, at least for the tier 4s and 5s. We've been exploring ideas, talking about that, how we can make that. So
that's interesting, because the random POIs was something that I was sort of racing last time to give more variation in how they're built. I mean, I do understand that probably the way currently being built, POIs and everything doesn't support it. So, but interesting to see that, looking at, making it so you can't just land on the top and make a hole and grab all the loot. I think they're trying to address that issue, so you really have to go through the POI and loot it. So this was an awesome, very different stream, really looking at the art and the graphic side of it, how the zombies, how the NPCs and everything have been built up, and it's actually a bit of other information as well of how they're doing, because it's really tied in, but just having the different variants of the bandits and everything from a base to light or heavy, and seeing a little bit of that background as Richard has been going through, and I think that was really good. So hopefully you enjoyed this sort of short form of the much longer stream that was put out, and they're having it Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 9 p.m. CET. So go have a look at Prime Fubar's Twitch channel if you want to see all of them. And let me know in the comment section below what specifics you want me to cover as I make these sort of reviews of this stream. I'll see you next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.